But anyway, I'm gonna show you how to do a squat, a split squat, and push-ups. Different variations to get you started from a very beginner all the way to more advanced. Anyway, so first thing you're gonna want to do, if you're not sure if you can do a body weight squat, hopefully you can, but if you can or you can't, you can use a chair. So what you're gonna do is just sit yourself down into a chair and then come back up to standing. Now, as you sit yourself down, I want you to think about not just letting yourself plunk onto the chair. I also have my feet, if you're a woman, hip distance apart, and my toes are slightly turned out. If you're a man, you might want to have your feet shoulder distance apart, and your toes are going to be slightly turned out. So I'm just going to sit myself down to the chair, come back up, sit myself down, come back up. Okay, do this freestanding. Remove the chair. You're going to just stand in that squat position. Sit yourself down, come back up. Sit yourself down, come back up. And your knees may go past your toes. That's okay, as long as they're going out. You don't want your knees to be going inward. And this is fine. You can go down to whatever height you want. If you were holding any weight, you would only want to go to a certain depth where your lower back doesn't shift. But if you're just doing this body weight or with a super lightweight, it doesn't really matter too much, as long as you don't have any known back issues. All right, so split squats. You can use a foam pad, or if you don't have a foam pad, rolled up mat, or you can use like a pillow or a cushion off of your sofa. So you're going to start in a half kneeling position. So hopefully you can see this okay. So I'm on the ball of my back foot, and my front foot is planted fully on the floor. They call this a half kneeling position. If you have really tight hip flexors, you may start to feel a stretch here, especially if you lift your arms up on that right hip flexor. So from here, you're gonna come up and then try and lower down. You don't have to touch the foam pad. If you can, great. Now, this is a real test because as people get older, we don't do anything. Coming up off the floor in a split squat position, that half kneeling position, can be very difficult. And that is an indication that you're gonna have more problems as you get older getting off the floor. Now that I'm in my 50s, I have to stay moving, otherwise you regret it later if you don't. So again, front foot is planted firmly on the ground. You're in the ball of your back foot. You're gonna come up and then lower down. And again, these are just body weight. There's all sorts of different variations with these split squats. But if you can't get yourself off the ground, then you need to add strength training to your workouts, because as we get older, we start to lose muscle mass, and it's really not good. So I'm going to use these stairs to just show you. So if you're really great at push-ups, you can start with them on the floor. You want to have your hands maybe slightly wider than shoulder distance apart. And I'm going to push up like into this position and then come back. So my hands are kind of slightly wider, but I'm not flaring them out like this. For some people that can be, that can feel comfortable, maybe but I'm having a more like, my elbows are more at a 45-degree angle. And then I could get some of my lat muscles involved in the push-up as well. So I'm not like an absolute master at push-ups, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is something I'm working on. But what you can do is you can just start on the stairs, go to whatever depth you can. And you want to keep everything like going up and down in one unit. Hopefully you don't see you don't want to see someone's like your hips going up and then going like this. You want to keep everything parallel. You can, as you get stronger and stronger, you can put your hands on the lower and lower step. And then eventually you can get on the floor. If the stairs are too hard, you can actually do push-ups with your hands on the wall. So you can, I'm gonna use this on. This is my front door here. You can actually set yourself up here for push-ups and do your push-ups against the wall. Or if you have a sturdy door, you can do them against the door. So what I'm looking for is you don't want to be tensing your hips up. You want to keep keeping everything in a line. Push-ups are actually, should also feel those in your abs. It's not just upper body exercise. It's like benching with weights. It's not just upper body exercise. A lot of people think it is, but you have to stabilize like as you get stronger at it, you gotta really stabilize with your core muscles. And you're also using part of your core, keeping your trunk stable is your hip muscles, because you got your glutes here, you got your quads, all these muscles kind of help stabilize your trunk so that you're able to go heavier and heavier with benching. And for women, we're never gonna probably get as heavy as men, so that's the reality. Men are, they have testosterone, they have different hormones, and they build muscle typically a lot faster than the majority of women. There are some exceptions to that, but that's the way it is for most women, unless we took steroids, and steroids are a good thing to take. Not long term, because you can have a lot of health issues. So it can affect your mood and your hormones and a whole bunch of other stuff. And most women, as a woman, now I'm in my 50s, my hormones are starting to get a little bit all over the place right now. So I don't really want to disrupt those anymore than they already are. But anyway, that gives you a quick overview of how to do like different variations for squats, body weight, doing split squats, and to see if you can get up from the floor from a split squat. And then also doing push-ups. And if you are having trouble, why squats are important is because, like I said, if you can't do a squat, you can't get as you get older, you can't get yourself out of a chair. Why split squats important? Because as you get older, you usually are going to start when you're coming off the floor, you're going to be in some sort of half kneeling position to get yourself back off the floor, you know what I mean? And if you can't get yourself off the floor doing that, then as you get older, that's going to become more of an issue. Why push-ups are important? Because it's important to have some upper body strength. And it's not just an upper body exercise, it's also using your core and your trunk muscles.